Alright guys, welcome to another beer review, and today we're going back over to... First of all, you'll have to excuse the horrific sounds that are coming out of my nose and also my mouth. I don't know what it is. I think I'm coming down with like the 5th cold in 2 months. So I'm sounding absolutely atrocious, so I do apologise. But got a couple of minced beef pies to... Gotta let them cool down because it's like molten fucking lava for like half an hour. So I'm gonna let them cool down a little bit. And I thought in the meantime I'd have a beer. So going back over to Harpoon, and we're having a look at their Dark, which is a Dunkel-Style beer. Malty and smooth it's described as, at 5.2% ABV. Got this in the Beer 52 Boston Blacks. My attempt at a Boston accent. And yeah, the beers I've had so far have been pretty good, especially the Clown Shoes and the Harpoon beers actually. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this because I do like a good Dunkel lager. So of course, if you're interested in the Beer 52 boxes, there's a little bit of a referral link down below. So let's see what we get with this one. So I've not chilled this down because I think you can get away with Dunkel lagers at room temperature, but we shall see. Anyway, so beer in the glass, and yeah, that's what you expect. It's got that sort of like cola brown. Helps when you don't review the beer like this, Peter. Yeah, it's got that sort of like cola brown to it. It's a little bit ruby in there, but it's got this sort of like, I'd say, slightly untreated oak. No, I don't know my woods, so even though I say like varnished timber and stuff, like varnished oak and mahogany and things like that. But anyway, I think you know by now that I do chat a lot of shit in these beer reviews. And if you didn't know that, you do now. Anyway, so it looks like you would expect a Dunkel beer to look like. Lovely one finger's worth of pale beige head. It's certainly ticking all the boxes in terms of the aesthetics. So let's see what we get on the nose. If I can get a nose through this, whatever it is I have. And it's got that sweet berry muskiness that you expect from this style. It smells very authentic. It's got loads of fruitcake flavour, steeped raisins, that sort of stuff. Or like steeped fruits, I should say. Just the right amount of sweetness. It's got that hint of like muscovado sugar to it, but it doesn't drift off to be too sweet. It's got that chewy oatiness about it as well. It smells so authentic. You'd think you were drinking or smelling, because I'll have to see how it tastes. You'd think you were smelling like an authentic German Dunkel. So this is clocking in. I don't think I said the ABV. If I did, I'm going to say it again. 5.2%. So, let's see what it tastes like. Prost. They've absolutely nailed it stylistically. It's got a real big hint of woodiness about it though, which I do really like. It even has a very subtle aniseed flavour to it, which just gives it a little bit of a distinct edge. But you get all of those Dunkel lager flavours though. That lovely dark, dense brown sweetness. It's got a little bit of like a cakiness to it. It's musky, it's woody. It's got a nice sort of creaminess to the body, but it's not too heavy. And at room temperature, it's tasting absolutely divine. If you were to chill this down too much, you would lose a lot of that character. But yeah, just the right amount of like sort of dried fruits. There's even a little bit of chocolate in there, which I do like. But yeah, I tell you what, they've done an absolutely fantastic job with this. Is it the most exciting beer you'll ever have? Dunkels aren't really that exciting. Lagers aren't that exciting, but when brewed correctly, to me, they can be the best beers in the world. I mean, come on. Even though I've not drank it for a few months now. Augustina Lager Beer Hell. And Augustina do a wonderful Dunkel. Paulana do a wonderful Dunkel. Probably the best Dunkel beer that I've had, I would say, is the Weltenberger Baroque Dunkel. Gorgeous beer. And this is... It can hold its head up high with the best of them. And James, if you're watching this from Rampant Line Beer Reviews, I know you're a fan of your Dunkels yourself. I think they've done an absolutely fantastic job. And I think out of the Harpoon beers that I've had so far, this has been the best one. Although I do have the Duncan to look forward to, which I just need to buy donuts and then I can drink that beer and do a bit of a food pairing. But I tell you what, I've enjoyed the Harpoon beers that I've had. Yes, some of them you can get in the supermarkets now and here in the UK, but is that necessarily a bad thing? No, not really. I don't think you should look a gift horse in the mouth, to be honest. But yeah, it's probably the best of the bunch so far from that box. Just because of how authentic it tastes. But then it's got this, as I said, a little bit of an aniseed flavour right at the back end, which just gives it that sort of like distinctness. But yeah, if you wanted a good, solidly brewed German-style Dunkel and you live in the States and you live near the brewery, it looks like a wonderful little place, actually. Some of this, because I was reading the little magazine you get with Beer 52, and I can't remember who Harpoon own, actually. There's an American brewery they own. I think that, don't they own Clown Shoes? Or is that Clown Shoes a subsidiary? I'm not too sure. Could be completely wrong. Probably misread that. I do apologise. But yeah, another brewery that I'd love to visit, actually. And that's absolutely fantastic. As someone who adores German beer and German brewing culture, I think they've done an absolutely stellar job on this. And in terms of a rating, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I think that's wonderful. It really, really is. And it's probably one of the beers in the box where people are like, oh, it's a Dunkel beer. These beers are good, man. You know, they're not sexy. You know, they're not hype beast beers. They're not there to blow you away and give you a flavour sensation or a sensory overload. It's just a solid, pick up a 6-pack, pick up a box of this, and just enjoy to your heart's content. And yeah, fantastic stuff. It really, really is. I really, really enjoyed that. And part of me is thinking now, should have probably waited and got in touch with my good friend Dean and done a live review of this, because I know he's got it. I think he got this with his box as well, and I definitely think he will enjoy that one if he has. So yeah, if you like your Dunkel lagers and you can get hold of it, definitely give it a try. Definitely give it a try. I think they've done a fantastic job. They really, really have. So 9 out of 10 for Harpoon's dark Dunkel-Style beer. Malty and smooth. Ticks all the boxes. It's even got the fruity characters almost of a Doppelbock in there. Just throw that in it. That's like the little, you know, icing on the cake. Although icing is, in that context... No, would when they say ice on the cake, do they literally like sprinkled with ice and sugar? Or do they mean ice and sugar water and then drizzled on top? I'm not too sure. Anyway, either way, it's going to make the cake taste nice. So who am I to judge? Harpoon Dark, fantastic stuff. If you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. Are you a fan of the brewery? I'd love to visit that. I mean, it's just one of the many places I'd love to visit in the States for beer. And yeah, wonderful stuff. Check out the brewery. Check out Beer 52. If any of my friends have felt they choose I reviewed this one, their links will be down below. And I don't get to say this often, but I've got pies to eat. And that was that sexual innuendo really did miss the mark, so I do apologise. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers!